This is the Bama Podcast with Marty Solomon. I'm his co-host, Brent Billings. Today, we conclude our series of reflection, working to apply the lessons of trust from the Mishkan.
That's right. Today is number 7 of 7 reflections to kind of lead us through the first half of session 7 here. And you've heard enough at this point. You know the way we've been operating. If for some reason you need to, you can review the intro episode to session 7. It talks a bit about why this session is unique and what we're trying to accomplish. And this is not our normal. This is not the norm for the Bema podcast, but we talk a little bit about why and what that is about. So the theme for our discussion today is taken from episode 331. And we were using Josh Basse's series at the end of session 6 on the Mishkan, the tabernacle, his reflections there to guide our way. And the 7th reflection that Josh led us through was there in episode 331, and his theme was trust. And so we're going to use that to guide our way today. Josh spoke about the 7th day of creation there. The theme of rest and trust. Those are good Bema themes. Connected this conversation that day in that episode to the next and really the final items, if you will, of the Mishkan, Sabbath being that item. We're going to use his thoughts, his questions as our guide for the reflection today.
Thus the heavens and the earth were completed in all their vast array. By the 7th day, God had finished the work he had been doing. So on the 7th day, he rested from all his work. Then God blessed the 7th day and made it holy, because on it he rested from all the work of creating that he had done. Then the Lord said to Moses, "See, I have chosen Bezalel, son of Uri, the son of Hur, of the tribe of Judah, and I have filled him with the Spirit of God, with wisdom, with understanding, with knowledge, and with all kinds of skills, to make artistic designs for work in gold, silver, and bronze, to cut and set stones, to work in wood, and to engage in all kinds of crafts. Moreover, I have appointed Aholiab, son of Ahisamach, of the tribe of Dan, to help him. Also, I have given ability to all the skilled workers to make everything I have commanded you: the tent of meeting, the ark of the covenant law with the atonement cover on it, and all the other furnishings of the tent, the table and its articles, the pure gold lampstand and all its accessories, the altar of incense, the altar of burnt offering and all its utensils, the basin with its stand, and also the woven garments, both the sacred garments for Aaron the priest, and the garments for his sons when they serve as priests, and the anointing oil and fragrant incense for the holy place. They are to make them just as I commanded you.
Consider and reflect. There are things that we bring to the table, abilities and talents. Do we have the faith and the faithfulness to create spaces for God's kingdom to thrive in the world? Do we see the cessation of these gifts as a part of creating that space? Do we trust this reality enough to Sabbath?
Thus the heavens and the earth were completed in all their vast array. By the seventh day, God had finished the work he had been doing. So on the seventh day, he rested from all his work. Then God blessed the seventh day and made it holy, because on it he rested from all the work of creating that he had done. Then the Lord said to Moses, "Say to the Israelites, you must observe my Sabbaths. This will be a sign between me and you for the generations to come, so you may know that I am the Lord who makes you holy. Observe the Sabbath, because it is holy to you. Anyone who desecrates it is to be put to death. Those who do any work on that day must be cut off from their people. For 6 days work is to be done, but the seventh day is a day of Sabbath rest, holy to the Lord. Whoever does any work on the Sabbath day is to be put to death."
Consider and reflect. Do you have a space of Sabbath in your life? Does this space facilitate the reflection on God's nature and how that relates to you? Do you have space to actually connect with the person of God on a heart level, or is it all action and spiritual production?
Thus the heavens and the earth were completed in all their vast array. By the seventh day, God had finished the work he had been doing. So on the seventh day, he rested from all his work. Then God blessed the seventh day and made it holy, because on it he rested from all the work of creating that he had done. The Israelites are to observe the Sabbath, celebrating it for the generations to come as a lasting covenant. It will be a sign between me and the Israelites forever. For in 6 days the Lord made the heavens and the earth, and on the seventh day he rested and was refreshed. When the Lord finished speaking to Moses on Mount Sinai, he gave him the 2 tablets of the covenant law, the tablets of stone inscribed by the finger of God.
Consider and reflect. Are you intimate enough with this practice of Sabbath that it makes a difference for others around you? Could you explain it and pass it on to the generations that follow you?
Thus the heavens and the earth were completed in all their vast array. By the seventh day, God had finished the work he had been doing. So on the seventh day, he rested from all his work. Then God blessed the seventh day and made it holy, because on it he rested from all the work of creating that he had done.
In conclusion, may we trust the story enough to find a space to rest. May that rest remind us of who God is and how much he loves us. May we remain faithful to the work of Sabbath, becoming familiar and intimate enough with the practice that we could share it with others. This reflection today concludes our journey through this special 7-part reflection, thinking about Sabbath, thinking about the presence of God, thinking about the Mishkan, just something unique for the 7th session of the Bema podcast. And we hope it's been a beneficial time, a helpful time. And we actually have a conversation coming up next week that we hope will also be a beneficial conversation and time, and maybe even some resources if people are considering the spaces that they create or the things that they pursue. Brent, we have something coming up next week, correct?
Yeah, we talked to someone named Kat Armstrong, and she has a whole series of, I guess you'd call them workbooks. I don't know.
Yeah, Bible studies.
Bible studies, yeah. So the latter half of this series, we're going to be talking a lot about spiritual practice. And if you need a really approachable way to get into some kind of practice and you just don't know where to start, like these books would actually be a really great place. And I think they're useful for personal study. I think they're useful for group study in a church setting, outside of a church setting. Like there's a lot of possibilities. We recorded this episode before we knew what we were doing with session 7. And she was actually really gracious in allowing us to move her episode around to fit with what we ended up coming up with. But I think it actually fits really well with the idea of spiritual practice that we're going to be talking about for the rest of the session. So even though we didn't know what we were doing, I think God was working in it, and I think it's a valuable conversation to have. So we're happy to share that with you next week before we get back with the other hosts and walk through what spiritual practice looks like for each of us.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm excited for the, as we record, or as you hear this, I'm still away on sabbatical, but as we record it from the past, I'm excited for what the back half of this session and this 7th season of Bema has for people, and what they might be able to really practical practice type stuff that will make a big difference, more than just learning facts about the Jewish context of the Bible, but actually how we pursue Jesus and how we pursue God. And that's the stuff that will actually change our insides, and that's the good stuff.
Okay, Marty. Well, that does it for this first half of session 7, our reflections. We hope that these are something that you can go back and utilize in the future, especially as you work to develop a Sabbath routine and, just adjust. It takes a long time to adjust your assumptions and your thinking on things. And so we hope that these are a lasting resource in that way. But that'll do it for this week, Marty. We will talk to everyone again soon.